Hello, this is Professor Joyce, and I'd like to go over problems from the midterm of 2013, and I've chosen problem 23 to start this off. So it's a pollution problem, and the goal is to figure out how much pollution the firms will abate themselves as opposed to buying the right to pollute from the government. So the government sets a price of a pollution permit, so to speak. And if the price the government's charging is higher than the cost to eliminate yourself, then the firm's going to eliminate it itself. So that's our question. This is 23. If the government charged a fee of $74 per unit of pollution, how many units of pollution would firms eliminate altogether? Let's go to firm A. You can see in firm A that the first unit of pollution here is going to cost the firm $60 to abate itself. That's cheaper than paying $74 for the right to pollute from the government. So firm A will eliminate the first unit of pollution. The second one also $70, which again is cheaper than the $74, so they will eliminate this one right here as well. Go to the third unit, and you see the third unit right here is $82, okay? So the firm says, wait a minute, it's going to cost me $82 to get rid of this unit of pollution. I can buy that right to pollute from the government for $74. I will not get rid of the third unit myself. Let's go to firm B. Firm B, first unit's $57. That's pretty cheap to get rid of it. They will spend the money to eliminate that unit of pollution as opposed to buying the right to pollute from the government. The second unit, though, costs firm B $75, which is greater than the price the government's offering them. So this firm will not get rid of the second unit of pollution themselves. We go to the firm C, again, the first unit right here, they're going to get rid of this one. They're also going to get rid of the second one because the $70 is cheaper than the $74. You can see where I'm going here. And now we can go to firm D, and clearly they'll get rid of the first unit of pollution, $62. They'll even get rid of the second unit at $73 because it's cheaper than the government's price at $74. So all told, we have 2 units in firm A, we have 1 unit in firm B, we have 2 units in firm C, and we have 2 units in firm D. That's equal to 7 units, and there you have your answer. The firms will eliminate 7 units by themselves as opposed to paying the government's price of $74 per unit of pollution. Good. Let's go to our next slide. This is a tax problem. This is going to ask us what's going on when the government increases the tax rate from $1.50 to $3. So you're given 4 choices, but let's take it slowly. Let's say, okay, let's look at the situation when the tax rate is $1.50. So $1.50 is right here, okay? There's our tax of $1.50. So we'll write tax equals $1.50. So let's figure out the tax revenue at $1.50. Well, you know, at a tax of $1.50, the firm's going to cut back, equilibrium is going to be cut back to 50 units, and we know that this is going to be, in essence, the tax revenue by the government. So let's figure that out. This triangle is going to be our deadweight loss, so now we have our 2 pieces of information here. So the tax revenue is going to be $1.50 per unit times the 50 units that are being produced, so the tax revenue is going to be $75 when the tax rate is $1.50. The deadweight loss is going to be this triangle right here, which we now know has a height of 150. We know it has this base right here, which is the difference between the equilibrium quantity and the current quantity, so that's going to be 10 units. And we know it's a triangle, so we're going to multiply it by 1/2. And if you do that, you're going to get a deadweight loss of $7.50. All right, so there's our situation. Let's go to the next slide and we can look what happens when the tax is $3. So here we have now the tax has been raised from $1.50 to $3. All right. So now we have our deadweight loss is this area right in here. And we know our government revenue, tax revenue, is going to be this rectangle right here. All right. So now let's write this down. We have tax equals $3. And let's look to see what we're going to hit. Let me change my pen here. So we have tax revenue is equal to $3, but now we know the equilibrium quantity is only 40 units, all right? So it's $3 times the 40 units. Well, that's going to give us tax revenue of $120, all right? And the deadweight loss when the tax is $3 is what? Well, again, it's going to be the area of this triangle right here. We now know the altitude is $3, so it's going to be 3 times the base here, which is now the difference between 60 and 40. So that's going to be 20, and it's going to be times 1/2 because it's a triangle. So our area is going to be 1/2 23, which is going to be $30 in deadweight loss. So now let's summarize, all right? So when tax equals 150, we have tax revenue equals $75, and deadweight loss is equal to $7.5. All right, I'll make that dollars. And when tax is $3, we have tax revenue is equal to $120, and we have the deadweight loss is equal to now $30. Oops, $30. So the answer here is clearly going to be A, because A is the only answer that says the tax revenue will increase when the tax goes from $150 to $3. That's no question, right? But the deadweight loss also increases, so the answer has to be A. And there you have it. Let me stop here.